Today I'm taking my Overland Jeep Liberty snow wheeling. We've got some spring, wet, slippery snow. So all the trails are gonna be all slippery, icy, and wet. I'm gonna be taking it down some quad trails, some Jeep trails, some ATV trails. This Jeep is upgraded with a 3-inch lift. I've got all-terrain tires. I've got skid plates, a rear limited slip locker. I've got a rooftop tent, my light bar, and Rancho shocks. So I'm gonna be trying to find the limits of this Liberty, and I'm gonna see if you guys need to spend all the money to buy a full-on off-road rig for $50,000 or $100,000, or if a budget Liberty can keep up with all the trails. So without wasting any time, let's get into it. So when you're off-roading in the snow in slippery conditions, the most important part of your rig is your tires. These tires are the MotoMaster Eliminator X-Trail tires. These are LT 10-ply tires with the Mountain Peak Snowflake rating. So they're rated for the winter, and they're fully siped. All the sipes move like this, evacuating the water and grabbing onto the snow. So you can see right here, the snow is all in between the sipes, and this will give you much better traction on trails than mud terrain tires. So this is often a debate on whether all-terrains or mud terrains are better for snow wheeling. I personally think that the most important thing with snow wheeling is to not slide anywhere, because if you get stuck, at least you're not in danger. But if you slide off the edge of something or can't control yourself going down an icy slope, that's when it gets dangerous. So let me know what you guys think is better, mud terrain or all-terrain tires, and what kind of tires you guys put on your rigs. So now that I've aired down my tires to about 20 PSI all around, let's hit the trails. It recently snowed out here in the mountains. Snowed about 6 inches of fresh snow, and it's all sticky because it's pretty warm out. So today I'm going to be going through a trail I went through in the summer, but this time we have the element of snow, ice, and puddles, and I'm gonna see how it goes. The Rancho shocks I have on this Jeep do great on big bumps because they have a very soft initial impact. A lot of people also like the Bilstein shocks, but I find they're a little bit too rough. They are better in the streets though, but I have this Jeep to off-road it, not to drive in the road. It's always a weird experience with snow this time of year here in Alberta. We'll either have plus 20 degrees Celsius days or negative 10, negative 20 days in March easily. And even April will have snowstorms. So I'm in 4 high entering the trail now. I've been on this trail in the summer once before, and if you guys want to check out that video, I'll leave it right here in the corner. Now though that it's winter, it's going to be a lot more slippery and a lot more difficult to do, and I'm curious on how this Jeep is going to handle it. So this is a pretty tight trail, and I haven't done it with the rooftop tent yet, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. The rooftop tent does add a little bit of height, so I might be scraping on a few branches, but that's not a big deal. There's a pretty low tree right here, so let's see if we can get under it with the rooftop tent without scraping anything. This is gonna be tight. Okay, so I'm gonna stay as much to the right as I can, and it should be enough to clear it. So I'm still just in 4 high, haven't engaged 4 low yet. I'm gonna slow down on this hill just to see how much traction I can lose or get from these tires. Just to see how slippery it really is. I'm definitely spinning my wheels, but it makes it up pretty well. Okay, now for this, it's a very steep descent, and I'm gonna engage 4 low so I don't slide down, so I can use some engine braking. And I'm also engaging first gear so I can crawl down. Oh, I can't see anything over my hood. You can see how steep it is right now. no problem for the Jeep. So now I'm in 4-low, so I have a lot more control and a lot more torque. And especially in reverse, this Jeep does need 4-low, because if you're stuck in deep snow in reverse, I don't know why, it just doesn't go over that 3,000 RPM. It's just not enough torque. So 4-low is very much necessary off-road in a rig like this, especially with a 4-speed and a non-turboed old school V6 engine. So this is when the trail starts getting really narrow. This is when it starts turning into more of a ATV trail right here. Don't want to slide into this log on my left. Scraped some trees there. No big deal. Now this trail gets a bit wider and breaks up right up here. So this is the end of this trail. I have a few options. There's a quadding trail down there. So this trail is designed more for quads and not exactly vehicles. You can take any vehicle down it, but it's narrow. That's why it's designed for quads. So let's see what it's like. And we're getting fresh tracks here. So we're the first ones on it today and yesterday. Let's see what it looks like. So I'm gonna check out how steep it is right now and how tight it gets. So the trail is steep, it's snowy, it's tight, it's slippery, and there's 2 bridges that are pretty narrow at the end. So what does that mean? We're giving it a try. So I'm gonna go down in first and just let the Jeep crawl down. Gonna roll down a window so I can see what's happening. So it's gonna get quite tippy right here. Hopefully not too tippy. Don't want to use the brakes too much. Just concentrating on slowly getting down the hill. And then I'm just off the brake now, letting first gear take me down. I may need some momentum to get up that part again. We'll see where this trail ends up at though. I've got about 3 inches, 4 inches of either side of my mirrors. Definitely a narrow bridge. This bridge is really tight. You can see a bunch of vehicles would turn around back there. There was just a big area of tracks. But that's one thing about this Liberty, is it fits literally anywhere. I've yet to find a spot where it really doesn't fit. This thing can go on really tight trails. Let's keep going until we can't anymore. So there's 2 hills. There's a steep one and a less steep. Just to see how steep this thing can go, let's go up the very steep and slippery bit. Let's see how this goes. Okay, well that was tough, but it got up. Let's keep going. My washer fluid sensor is saying that it's low because I'm at an angle, so it keeps pitching and saying that it's low and then saying it's not low. So this trail is getting really snowy and really narrow now, but let's just keep going and see what happens. But so far, I'm really impressed with these tires, especially once I aired down. I've got all the traction in the world. Looks like there was a tree that fell here. No problem. Another dip. Go past it quickly so it doesn't suck me in. And otherwise, this is all pretty smooth because of how much snow there is on the ground. Going uphill steep right here. Not bad. And then got a cliff on the side here, so I want to slide down there. It's getting a bit rougher here, and it looks like there's a fallen tree, so I can either drive over that or move it out of the way. I'm just gonna try driving over it. I've got underbody armor. Thick tires shouldn't be an issue. Good. So this trail just keeps going straight, so I'm gonna try and attempt to turn around without getting stuck, and I'm gonna head back because it keeps going straight for a pretty long time, and I don't really want to keep going straight, so I'm pretty deep here. See if we can turn it around without getting stuck. And we're good. A little bit of wheel spin there. That was definitely deeper on that side and uphill, so it's a bit more slippery. And the more I take this Jeep on these kind of difficult trails, the more I realize how capable it really is. Because most people, this is the tightest and the most difficult that their trails are going to get for camping or overlanding even. You could just find regular gravel trails and just go on them. Even in two-wheel drive, in the summer especially, this will get you through quite a few obstacles, that's for sure. So we're back at the tree now. Drive right over it. And as I was saying, so this has got limited slip differential in the rear, four-wheel drive, high, four-wheel drive low, skid plates around 10 inches of ground clearance and then 8 on the rear diff. So that's the lowest point of my Jeep, but with the lift, the whole body's lifted, so the approach angle is insane, the departure angle is amazing, and the breakover angle is really good. Also, the fact that it's just so narrow, and at the end of the day, it's not an $80,000 rig, so I don't have to worry about scratching it or even damaging it, really. Because if I do, it's just an off-roader. It's not the end of the world. But if I spend, I'll roll up my window here. There's a big branch. But if I spend $80,000 on a Bronco or a Wrangler or a 4Runner even, Even the new Toyotas are insanely expensive. Although those would be really nice to have for a new off-roader, the reality is, like a lot of people, I don't have the money for an expensive off-roader. So a budget one like this Liberty that you can build and make it as capable as any other rig, that was really sketchy. I could feel myself starting to slide down a little bit. If my tires were aired up there, I think we could have even slid down just because of how slippery that was. As I was saying though, although it would be nice to have a new off-roader, you can't really afford one, and you want to go off-roading, Liberty's a great platform to build it on. Because even the old 4Runners or Wranglers, buying them used with the same amount of kilometers is going to cost you like the whole build of this vehicle, if not more. Especially 4Runners, you're going to find them with 300,000 kilometers on them for this price. And I'm not even joking. Before the Liberty, I was looking at other off-roaders. I went to look at a 4Runner that was all rusted out with 300,000 on it. It was a V8, and it was listed for $13,000. And this one was $1,500 with $5,000 of work into it, not including the tent and stuff. It's the best off-roader you can get for the budget, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments what other vehicles you guys think would be a better platform than the Liberty. Possibly more reliable, more powerful maybe. Let me know, what do you guys think? Try to change my mind. So I'm gonna go back down this really steep hill that I went up. And you know what? I'm pretty sure I'm more confident going up the hill than down with how slippery it is. I'm gonna put it in first, low. I'm gonna hope I don't slide into those trees. That's pretty sketchy. Let me show you guys how slippery it is. So this snow is wet, it's sticky, and as soon as it gets compacted, it gets all slippery. And especially because I made it slippery with all the wheel spin going up. Going down, that was the slowest I can go. All the ice under me is starting to get soft and there's mud underneath. And this tight bridge. I've literally got inches on either side of this bridge. With my mirrors. I have to go full focus on this one. Up next, we've got the really steep hill that we went down earlier. So I'm just gonna keep it in drive. I'm gonna get a bit of momentum here. And it's pretty narrow, so gotta keep control. Definitely spinning up my wheels. Got a bit of ice under here and mud. Might scrape my belly a little bit just for the clearance. So now that we're out of the trails, that concludes today's off-road test. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for more videos because I'll be making a lot more off-roading content once it gets warmer out. And I'll really be trying to find the limits of this Jeep. That's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.